Welcome everyone to Talks with Me, a podcast entertainment edition. This is the only podcast that breaks down the journey on how to become the next media mogul with weekly interviews with the entertainment industry's biggest game changers. Today we have a special guest. Quentin Harris is in the building. He is an author, television producer, writer, director, on-air personality, actor, and entrepreneur from Rayford, North Carolina, my hometown. He is the executive producer of the reality show Chasing Reality and Just Lauren. Welcome, Q.
Hello. Thank you for having me. First of all, I love that intro. And I didn't know you were from North Carolina. I just thought you went to who?
No,
we're from Rayford, North Carolina. That's what's up.
Yeah, I was raised down there. I was born in New York, but I was raised down there.
Okay, I love that. Thank you for the intro. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm so glad to talk to you because it's been a minute.
It's been years.
So definitely a lot to catch up on. But today I want to talk about your journey and how you took several chances on yourself. One, going to Atlanta, working on becoming an actor and a media personality, and then you moved to California and you became an executive producer, and you currently work on your own reality, not just show, but series franchise. So definitely want to talk about that. And I love to start my interviews off with the question of how long has it taken you to get here? How many years has it been for you to be in this place that you are right now?
Well, before I dive into that, Mia, I just want to give you your flowers while I have the floor. I just want to say thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure to know you for all these years. I have to give y'all a small story about Mia. When I first met Mia, I was playing the alto saxophone in high school in the marching band. And I was thinking about it early, Mia, before the interview. And I was just like, Mia was the first person to give me a warm, embracing hug and just show me where my spot was. I was a freshman walking onto the field, and here comes tall Mia coming over to help me. And I remember I was so nervous, and you were so gentle, so kind, so sweet. And it's just so crazy how God works, because just that little encounter, I think it was our very first, we were roll stepping. I was in high stepping. I think you were a senior just before we switched over, and you showed me my spot. And I just remember that small, we were beside each other in a performance or something like that, because you had to be old head, new head. And I remember you were my partner, and you were just so kind, so warm. And I just remember you just being so sweet and making it so comfortable for me. And the marching band was one of the most memorable moments of high school for me. So I just want to say thank you to you for always being kind, always being sweet. You invite me onto your platform today. So before I get into me, I just wanted to let y'all know what type of person that you guys have on your hands. So y'all better be liking, subscribing, and listening to my girl, because she'll be dropping gems, okay? And she's so sweet. And I just know that what you're doing, you literally are walking in your purpose. Okay, I'm going to stop because I can talk.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
I really appreciate that. And it hits a little more right now because we were talking about being entrepreneurs, and I'm currently a full-time entrepreneur now.
Yes.
And I just feel like this phase, because I used to be a freelancer before I worked at Condé Nast for a few years, but I always had other jobs, like a waitress and stuff like that. So this phase really feels so aligned. And I feel like everybody that God is bringing me is to really help me on this journey and to be successful in the end. So that hits a little bit more because I really do feel like I'm walking in my purpose. So thank you.
Yeah. Always been a shining light. Literally looking at you now, I feel like I'm watching you as I was walking on that dance field, so scared. And you was sitting like a mom, come on over here, I got you. Come on. So I wanted to say thank you. I always had that warm energy. So let's get back to your question. How long has it taken me to become who I am and still flourishing and becoming who I am? I've been at this since right out of high school. I moved from Rayford, North Carolina, early age. I think I was 18, 19. I went to Shaw for a semester, Shaw University in Raleigh. That didn't last. Not even a semester.
I understand why.
God said, get out of there. That wasn't where I was supposed to be. So by the time I was 21, I had my own radio show in Atlanta. I wasn't even in Atlanta for a whole year before God just started opening doors. I was on I did the Tyler Perry show in my first year of being in Atlanta. So to answer how long has it taken me to get to this point, I will be 31 this year. So I've been in the game for 10 years. I feel like those old heads, they be like, I've been in the game for this long. Like I've legit been in a entrepreneurial walk for like the past 10 years since I moved to Atlanta. So yeah, I would say it's taken me 10 years to get here.
Nice. So I know with the reality show that you currently executive produce, it started in Atlanta with Chasing Atlanta, I believe was the first franchise of it.
Yes.
And so let's talk about that and how we even got to that opportunity, because were you always a part of like the original crew, or like how did it come to be?
So reality TV came moving to Atlanta, you know, everybody, there was so many reality shows coming out at the time. I moved to Atlanta. I wasn't a part of the original first season cast. I came onto the show, reality TV, my second season. I was in radio. I actually started producing a radio show. At the time, my radio show was a year old. The producers contacted me to interview one of their talents, and we became cool. So we became cool at the interview, and I was on the next season. I was on the show for 3 seasons, which did really well. Chasing Atlanta, like you said, that was the first flagship show. I joined second season, was on the show for 3. They just ended during the 6th season. And then I moved to Cali, and I was just like, okay, I've chased Atlanta. Now how can I stay busy and prove to myself that, one, I'm meant to be here, and I can tackle LA, Los Angeles, the same way I did Atlanta. So I decided, like, I'm chasing LA now. So I decided to move into the realm of producing, which I had already did a style of producing, which was radio. The radio and TV is similar. If you know both worlds, they're similar. I just didn't know that. So I didn't know I could produce. So it just fell in my lap. And here we are 3 seasons later and 2 shows later. I was a producer of that network.
Nice.
And so I have some new things coming up.
Okay, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that. So, but when you came to LA, was it a conversation of like, yo, I have this idea, and then you just went back to your original friend and was like, let's make it happen? Like, how do you actually like produce a reality show? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you guys fundraising? Are you pulling money from yourself, like your own bank accounts? How does this happen?
Well, this was 100% funded by QH Enterprise on top of my everyday bills. So it really took a lot of strategic planning, strategic being disciplined. Everything that I did has to be strategic. Every dollar that I spent had to be strategic. So how I came about producing the show was I came here, I had the idea right before the pandemic. I wanted to get busy again. So I contacted my old managers and the old producers. I was like, hey, you know, I was on that particular show for 3+ seasons. Give me a chance. Pass the ball to me. I'm open. It's nobody out here. It's nobody. It's that space is not it's not heavily, overly saturated here. So I called up the producers, and within 3 months, we kind of, worked out contracts and timelines. And I had a casting call. I knew like 2 people here. I knew one guy. I knew him from Atlanta because I did radio. So I did know a few people, but we didn't know each other personally. And at the time, he was a background dancer for like Mariah Carey and a few others. So I contacted him, and I was like, hey, you're like the only friend I have here. Will you do the show with me? I know that you're busy. You're exactly what I want. So would you do it? So when I got his one yes, and I saw the type of work he was doing, like with Mariah Carey, Tadrick Hall, he was working with some big names in the industry. I was like, okay, I got him. I pitched to people before. They're going to say yes or no. So I literally just one day on my off day, just sent out 10 to 15 emails just to see if I catch some bait. And I literally caught bait. So I had a casting call just to make it bigger. And just I was like, okay, I got a little bit. You know how you like scrounging for crumbs? Or like you in the house and you're trying to find something to eat. You got a little potato chip here. You got 2 slices of bread. I got some leftover ham. Like, okay, I can make this a little situation. And so that's what I started doing. And yeah, God just literally sent me the people to help me behind the scenes. And then the cast, once I cast everybody, they literally showed up and showed out. They saw what I've done and what the network had done during the first season. So they kind of already had they already kind of knew what the show was about.
Yeah.
And so they knew to just kind of step in and fall in line. And 3 years later, we are still successful and it's still rocking and rolling.
I was about to say, you were really the catalyst. I mean, I don't want to say just the primary person, but you really helped to create these other franchises because there's Chasing Dallas now.
Yeah, there was Chasing Dallas. Yeah. And plethora of other shows on that network. And not only on that network, I've helped create some other shows that I just I'm not the face of.
So what would you say for you, is there really a difference between just being a producer and being an executive producer? Like, what are the changes and responsibilities?
Well, producer, you more so just like in the field, handling like the everyday, just making sure everybody know what they're supposed to be. And executive producer is I know everything. I'm in control of everything. I know what time the set start, where it's set. I'm booking the set. I pay for the set. All of those things. All of those things. Make sure all the cast is on time. Producing is more so handling more of like the logistics. Cast call sheets and being on set before I do, because I'm probably going and grabbing mics and everything else. Being there with the cast and just kind of doing the things that I can't do that me and my team can't do. So that's why I have producers under me to kind of handle the everyday logistics.
Gotcha.
Especially with me handling multiple shows now, too.
So how many shows do you have now?
3.
Okay. That actually, I was going to ask this later, but it reminds me of, I was looking through your Instagram and someone posted that you are basically the next Carlos King.
Oh, thank you. Everybody always says that, and I receive that so humbly because I love and respect his work. And I receive that. Y'all keep saying that from y'all mouth to God's ears, okay?
But for you, is that like, do you feel like that is the goal, to really take over like reality TV, especially like for your like demographic or reality TV in general? Like for you, what's the big goal?
To be honest, Mia, I don't have an end goal. I'm literally just listening to God step by step. I wasn't supposed to be in reality TV. I was a radio boy.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to start in radio. I was a singer. If you know me from high school, I was in The Wiz. I was singing. I was a theater baby. So I transitioned into radio because I've always had a voice. I've always loved to talk. My personality is like humongous. And then I transitioned into reality TV just because of, who I am, who I carry myself, and, all those things. I love reality TV, though, but I don't think this is my end goal. I feel like I'm a candy bird. Like, I've been here for a while, but I want to go back to the theater where I want that EGOT. I want to start producing plays. I think I'm going to take a play to North Carolina, probably by the time I'm 31. That. Me and you, I don't know if you remember my best friend, Jaleesa. But
I do.
By the time we're 35, we're going to do like a really big play back in Rayford because that's where we both from. Her mom has been in stage plays for years, and there's nothing like that going on in Rayford. So I don't know what my end goal is, but I want to return to theater. I do want to create some scripted work this year to insert to Sundance. I'm so, because I come from the scripted world, honestly, but I love reality TV. I love when the camera gets rolling. I love to get the real, which is uncomfortable position to see how you will handle it. So I love that, and it's a niche for me right now. It's working. So I'm definitely going to stay with it. I would love to be the next Carlos King. But there's some other things in me as well. Like, I feel like I want to, like I said, go back to the theater. I don't know if I want to write music soon. It's another book, and I love talking. So I've been through so much that I feel like I have a little bit of knowledge to share with other journalists and other people, producers, directors, that in my space. And I feel like I want to even start doing some talking and coaching and stuff. So I don't know what I want to do. I'm just like, God, what do you want me to do today? Okay, let me get up and do that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're so talented, so you can't put a cap on like your talent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever is going to come is going to be successful. So, but going back to chasing reality, what would you say are some of like maybe like the 3 biggest lessons you've learned during this process of being in front of the camera with them and then also behind the camera?
Handle your business.
Okay.
handle your business. Stay on top of your work, stay on top of your paperwork, stay on top of your names, your brand names, your all that stuff. Before we even get into the tea and the mess and the fashion and the fun stuff, handle your business.
Was there one incident that like honed that in?
Yeah, the latest one. I don't want to do too much, but I'll just say the latest one. Okay. And there have been a few incidents, when in business, especially, I'm just now being in LA Film School. So I got thrown into the field in all of this. So a lot of things I've had to learn in the field without learning in the classroom first and being on in the field. So I was kind of the opposite of everybody else. So do your homework and take care of your business. The second thing, what was your question?
Just 3 things you learned from being on the show and working behind the scenes.
The first one is handle your business. The second one is don't trust nobody. You can have a whole lot of fun. We're gonna cut up. We're gonna kiki. We're gonna have a good time. But at the end of the day, this is a job. This ain't family. This ain't brothers and sisters. And that's what I'm from the South, so I'm a hard lover, and I love hard. And I've had to learn that people in the entertainment industry don't have that same heart.
Yeah, and so everybody doesn't.
That was a big one for me because I'm just such a people person. And so to get like all the time, when I first got it, I was a bit more green when I first got here. That was a big one for me. So I would say, don't trust nobody. Have some fun, get some connects, but get you a core group, your 1 or 2 friends. Like me and Jaleesa have been friends forever. It's been over 15 years now at this point. And she's on one side of the industry and I'm on another. So I like that type of stuff. So don't trust anybody. That's the second one. The third one will be people are always watching. So tell the truth.
Oh, okay.
People are watching.
I like that one.
People are watching. Tell the truth. Be honest. Be authentic. Be you.
Yes, be you. I feel like that's one thing that I do appreciate about you because I feel like even though you've evolved and we've seen different aspects of you, I feel like you've always been yourself though. Like it's not
person. Same person. I could be at the Grammys. I'm Mia, let's go get some food. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that's gonna ever change. I don't want it to, because we've seen so many people come in the industry and lose it.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Okay, this is going by so quickly.
Ask me everything. Bring it on.
So I'm going to get into our next segment, which is biggest boss move. What would you say has been your biggest boss move so far?
I think, even though I'm no longer associated with that network, chasing LA was probably one of my biggest boss moves. When I crossed all, thousands of miles across the country, people were expecting me to do, be out here, not necessarily fumbling, and I don't know who was praying on my downfall, but all people thought that I was going to get busy so soon. Like I left Atlanta and I was busy within like the next 6 months.
Yeah. And so to say that it was your project, you know what I'm saying? Not that you're just working on someone else's stuff. Yeah.
All mine. And went out here and found the people, casted it, produced in a city that I'm not from, found these studios, connect with other videographers who I don't know. I don't know any of these people. So that's probably one of my biggest boss moves.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I did that. That's what made me do my second show. I was like, I can do this.
So let's talk a little bit about what you're working on now. Like what can you tell us? What projects will we be seeing in 2024?
So like I said, I'm getting back in front of the camera.
And nice.
Yes, that's one thing that I've been passionate about since for like the past. I've always been passionate about being in front of the camera. Let me start there. So to be back in front and finally have something where I can't say yet, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm back working. You know what I'm saying? It's like I told you earlier when how you're meant to be there. I feel like I'm meant to be here, and it feels good. So what I'm working on in 2024 is I'm working on myself. I know that's such a cliche answer, but I'm working on what I want to do next. I've done 2 shows. I have 2 shows I've done. Now I have 3 shows in the can. But then I also am working on another book. I'm working on my 3rd book. I have 2 books out. The first one was a dream I chose to chase because everybody from Rayford kept asking me, How you working with Tyler Perry? How you see Steve Harvey? How you up there having lunch with Cynthia Bailey? And I'm just like, okay, let me write a book. I'm gonna say it one more time. And then I wrote my quote book because a lot of people can get in the industry, but it's all about staying.
Mm-hmm.
And so I created a quote book that helps you get here and stay. So I'm working on a third book. I'm trying to grasp where I want to go with that. So far I've been doing a lot of writing so far in 2024. So I do know I have a book coming. I do know by the end of this year I'm going to have something to submit to Sundance.
Yes.
And I'm back in front of the camera working on somebody else's project myself. So that is so fun to me.
I love that. I love that for
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. I am trying, sis. I'm trying to get back outside.
Okay, so let's get into the next segment, which is how I did it segment. So I would love to know for you, how do you really balance being an entrepreneur and producing television shows?
How I did it and how I'm doing it. Woo. You really have to put that time in for yourself. Mm-hmm. You literally have to make your schedule out. For me, I have to make my schedule out and, okay, this is going to be my gym time. Okay, this is going to be my watch TV time. I used to not do that in Atlanta. I used to be on the go from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. I was in go. We're getting older now, Saints. So I got to kind of schedule it in a little bit, but that's how I'm making it work is by being present and knowing my schedule. I don't let anybody interfere with my schedule. Nobody. I write everything down. I'm old school. So I write everything down. And I literally plan everything out. Like my life is like a big plan. I legit plan out my TV time. I know that sounds corny. I plan out my dates. Like my boyfriend, no, we're not going nowhere. If it's not on the calendar, I'm one of those. I legit, because I know my work is so serious, but at the same time, it could be just so hard on the body. And I know the things that I want to achieve, and I'm in this for a long haul. So I can take my time. I used to thought I had to rush. You know, my boyfriend is teaching me now to just relax in it, sit in it. I used to didn't sit in my accomplishments. I used to didn't sit in my work. I used to didn't even watch or listen to my work. It's done, edited up, out. And now I'm learning to just kind of sit back in it, which is now showing me that when you plan it out, you have more time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And for me, I think, I was the type of person that would just I would write everything down too, but then it would be 2 pages of things I needed to do. Yeah. And it's just then that alone, seeing it would stress me out. So now I have gotten better at how I write it, in a planner and things like that. But I also do the same thing where it's I got to put how much time I'm going to work out. I got to
and I work this Apple phone, honey. I put it all in.
Yeah,
everything's
in the calendar, color coordinated.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's me. I work this Apple phone. If I'm gonna pay this bill, I'm gonna work it.
I love that. Okay, final segment. I would love to know. Yes. Well, actually, I want to get back into Chasing Reality because one thing I do love about this series is how on brand it feels like it really is a network TV show. Where y'all be having the commercials, y'all be having the ads, the intros, the outros. I'm okay.
Yeah, because I really want it to look like TV. I don't want you to feel like you're watching YouTube. I want you to, because when I pitch to a network, because that's where I'm headed next. It's network time. You know, I wanted to just make sure that what I do, what my team does, and at the time what the network was doing was mocking television, not mocking it, but the content. But okay, timing, how long is the show on? And how long is the commercial? How many commercials? I legit was studying it. So that's why I try to mimic what we see, even down to the confessionals. I don't want to look like YouTube. I want it to look like The Housewives and Love and Hip Hop and Mob Wives, because that's what's on TV right now. So if that's where I'm headed, I need to be showing that work now. Don't wait till you get there.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you can definitely tell that you did your research. You had a vision. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so let's get into the final segment. I love to ask these 3 questions. And they are, what do you regret? What do you hope for? And what do you want to manifest and receive? So for you, the first one, what is something that you regret?
Oh, I regret nothing. I can answer that one easily. Yeah, I can answer that one so easily and quick. I regret nothing. And I say that because it all has made me who I am. The good, bad, ugly, sad. It all has made Quentin who he is. Some things I could change, but I don't regret anything.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you hope for?
I hope that I accomplish every dream I've ever had in my heart. Every thing that I prayed for, I wanted to come to pass. Every prayer that my parents and my grandparents have prayed over me because they know I just have a love for television entertainment. I just wanted I'm hopeful that they get to see it one day.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that I get to stand on that stage, win that award, both parents see it. Like, that's what I'm hoping for. You know, I'm hopeful that I didn't move here and I didn't chase these dreams for almost 10 years for it not to come true. Like, that's made me almost cry. Like, you know, because I've been doing this for a long time and I'm serious about what I'm doing. I really want it and I'm hungry. So yeah, that's what I'm hopeful for. Like, I'm hopeful that I really get this shit. I really want to do it. I really know that I have what it takes to achieve it. Yeah, you almost started serious. Okay, journalism.
Okay, last one. What do you want to manifest and receive?
I manifest happiness. I manifest all my dreams coming true. I want to receive love. I am receiving love. I want a double portion of love. And I want a double portion of my dreams coming true. That's just all I'm in right now. Being a good dad, being a good brother, being a good boyfriend, you know, being a good boss, good entrepreneur. Like, I just want to be good. And so what I manifest is just goodness and happiness. Peace comes to my life within these next 100 in the industry. Yeah, I just manifest goodness. I mean, and all the people like you know, my peers who I see side by side with me, I want it all to come true for us because I see so many of us who really been grinding and really been getting it for like the past 5 years. You know, they don't see the hard work that goes into what we do. Like, if I was to cancel today, like, it would have been like a whole haywire of stuff, you know, but I used to work in radio, so I know what it takes to manage your own stuff. And so when I see you working so hard, I'm like, I want it to happen for you. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I manifest. All my peers, like who I really see grinding and getting it, I really want us to get there. I want us to look up on our own lots, whether it's at an NBC lot, Netflix, Hulu lot, or we create our own damn lots. And we be like, hey, I'm coming to your show this week. I'm gonna be in your seat next week. You come on my show. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want us all to be successful in our own route, in our own lanes, in our own rights.
I receive that too. Yes, I receive that. So thank you so much, Quentin. I'm so glad we got to catch up a little bit because I know that I know there's so much you could talk about, but I appreciate the time that you gave on this platform for a little bit.
No, I appreciate you. And thank you so much for having me. It was such a refreshing moment to sit down with you. It has been years, but neither one of us has changed. Keep blossoming, keep being beautiful. I'm glad you had me today. I can't wait to come back and talk to you about the projects that I can't talk to you about right now. But 2024 is going to be a good year, and I hope that we can talk later in the year and you can see some things that it manifests. And I'm going to know that I'm going to do the same on your end. I can't wait to see what you do for the remainder of this year.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and blessings to your platform as well. Everything that you got going on is going up from here. So good luck to you.
It is. Thank you.